part of what helps the 3E model be so successful is our use of our professional learning community time through our PLCs. During PLC time, we have some very specific calendar dates that we calendar out by semester for our learners to make sure that we have a clear focus during professional learning time. And part of that focus is that we participate as educators in learning walks, we participate in critical friends, we participate in learning circles, as well as student day-to-days. So as far as critical friends, before each educator can actually implement or present a learning experience or lesson within their classroom, their unit design must go through a critical friends process. We will participate in critical friends. It's a week-long process, about every month, 4 to 5 weeks, and we actually combined our PLC and conference periods for that week for critical friends so that we have a larger audience, and we have different viewpoints for different grade levels as well as content areas. So each critical friends session is actually a feedback session where a teacher or a group of teachers who may be presenting the same lesson for their grade level or content, and they present a lesson in a format where the audience takes notes, and they use our 3E rubric as a guide to make sure that we are staying true to our 3E model and focusing on engagement, enrichment, and empowerment. After the presenters are done presenting their lesson design, then they turn their backs to the circle and we talk as a group about what we like, what we have I wonders about, and then any next steps that we must participate in. We also have the opportunity to bring in learners to our Critical Friends groups at the beginning of this year, and we're hoping that that'll become a permanent part of our process with some possible flexible scheduling in the future. Critical Friends has been a very empowering process for our educators as receiving feedback about what people like, but also when you have an I wonder, it really poses a question, and as someone making the presentation of a unit plan and receiving questions about your project, it makes you think, and it should, and that's the purpose of the Critical Friends process. The beautiful thing is, as the presenter, I have the opportunity to either use that feedback or I may have an answer to it, but I don't have to defend myself, because the purpose of Critical Friends is not to defend because maybe you just didn't do as good of a job presenting as somebody else. Critical Friends gives many viewpoints from different content areas and different grade levels, and it's been a beautiful thing to see the integration of courses and how, well, as English, we're talking about this right now and it relates to your science project, and maybe we could do a group workshop together. So Critical Friends has been a great thing for our campus and really focusing in on the 3Es. Learning walks, once a 6 weeks, each educator participates in a learning walk, and this is where they take the 3E rubric and they go into the different educators' classrooms and they really give feedback on what they like and then any takeaways or any I wonders. And this, again, making sure that we're staying true to the 3E model within our classroom. This is educator to educator feedback. The feedback doesn't come to administration. It's really for each of our educators to take that feedback and grow with one another. Our learning circles are whenever we present a new learning experience or a new performance assessment or whatever it may be in our classroom. In the learning circle, we go back to a professional learning community and we take the time to specifically talk about what was engaging about that experience that we participated in the classroom, and then if there were any learners who were engaged that may not have been engaged before, and why were they engaged this time and not other times, and how can we ensure that they'll be engaged again in the future. These are important conversations that we have as educators as we try to improve learning in the classroom, and making sure that we are reaching each and every one of our learners. Also, student day-to-days. Student day-to-days are a fun time. Every 3 weeks we get together and we look at grade reports and discipline reports within the classroom, and as we sit as a group of educators along with each counselor and each administrator, and we talk about each individual learner and what their struggles may be and how we can address that in the classroom. What are we doing that we need to change to ensure that this learner can master the content or can have better behavior within the classroom? Student day-to-days have been powerful at Middle School North. When student day-to-days were not in place 2 years ago, there were 150 failures that semester. After 2 years of implementation at semester in spring of 2012 last year, we had less than 15 failures at semester. That's data for you to show you that talking about our learners and what their struggles are and what we can do in the classroom as educators, as administrators, and as counselors, how we can support our kids to ensure that they are successful in getting their needs met within the classroom and during the school day. Also during PLC time, we also have tech time, which is every Tuesday with our IT person, which is awesome, and she really takes the time to find out what the needs of our educators are and what they're needing help with as far as it relates to technology, and how we can be at the different levels within the SAMR model and as an educator, and we practice that every Tuesday. And educators, it's awesome to hear them talk about their takeaways from Tech Time and how they're going to be able to implement that within the classroom, and even bringing new ideas into Tech Time to share with members of their professional learning team.